They want to win, and they want to win. Let's go to the talking points. The first goal, and this guy, Nsue, we spoke about him before the start. And now, is there all-time goal scorer, 19 goals.
Hello, good evening. It is nationwide and we are transmitting live from Abuja. My name is Ogochkuka Ona. You're welcome. Vice President Kashim Shettima says the small-scale farmer is the key to economic emancipation and development of the African continent. During a World Economic Forum panel in Davos, the Vice President pointed out that sustainable agricultural practices focused on smallholder farmers can help produce more food while caring for the land. Justin Bemunyi reports.
So I believe that Africa holds the promise, and I want to use this platform to seek for partnership. For me, I don't subscribe to the idea of begging. We can carry our work with dignity. Sure. We can seek for partnership, for friendship, for genuine relationship that would be mutually beneficial to the investors as well as to the African people.
Vice President Kashim Shettima says Africa needs to embrace mechanized farming in its agriculture value chain to increase economies of scale and boost economic growth and productivity on the continent. Precision and regenerative agricultural practices from local communities such as soil mapping and improved seeds, he however noted, could help to bring about an increase in yield.
Agriculture holds the key, but we are in some sort of a time capsule. 100 years ago, our forefathers were using horse and cutlasses to eke out a meager existence. Now we have to embrace modern agricultural practices, regenerative agricultural practices, fertilization, tractorization, intermediate, not the advanced tractorization that is embedded in Europe and the Americas. And the whole mantra is on increase in yield, so that Africa will be in a position to feed itself and add value to the world.
For the Vice President, the Great Green Wall Project initiative cutting across sub-Saharan Africa could bring about the kind of major change in the landscape needed to tackle the environmental crisis. This initiative, adopted by the African Union in 2007, initially aimed at increasing the amount of arable land over a vast area while combating desertification.
The most important of our endowments are the human resource component. We are the youngest continent in the world. For instance, Nigeria, the average age of the Nigerian population is 19. And this huge youth bulge, we can truly transform them into demographic dividends. I'm afraid I'm an eternal optimist. I don't want to see it as a demographic disaster that will consume all of us. Because once we wear our thinking caps as leaders, once we reach out to the global community for partnership, I believe that Africa stands poised to be a driver of change and growth in the world.
According to a report from the FAO, Nigeria's agricultural sector faces numerous challenges, including a poor land tenure system, a low level of irrigation farming, climate change, and land degradation. The FAO has, however, implemented several initiatives aimed at promoting the sustainable management of natural resources. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
Minister of State Petroleum Resources Oil, Senator Heineken Lokbobere, says Africa and Nigeria cannot hastily transit relying on aids and grants. The minister believes that what is needed, rather, is strategic investment in fossil fuels sector to support the economy and ensure energy security. At the 54th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Lokbobere draws attention to the role of financial independence in attaining seamless transition and steered his conversation towards fostering investment and partnerships rather than deadlines. He notes Africa's contributions to global emissions, which stands at 3%, and cautions against actions that could impede economic growth in Africa. Special Advisor, Media and Communication to the Minister, Nnamaka Okafor, says the minister is currently engaging potential partners on strategic partnerships and investments. In other news, Minister of Arts, Culture and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, is seeking global collaborations and partnerships that will boost Nigeria's creative economy and generate $100 billion by 2030. Ngufan Shaji Ugwanyi reports that the minister is engaging investors in Davos at the World Economic Forum on the huge economic potential of the Nigeria creative industry.
I want you to look at Nigeria as a hub for innovation, as a hub for investment. With the area only of arts, culture and creative economy, I think we can add something very new, very fresh, something that people will be able to sort of understand and resonate with. We are ready to diversify away from just the traditional means of growth, and we are ready to support the creative economy, and I hope that people here will see worth in the Nigerian artist, in our arts, in our fashion, in our music, to see what we can do, not only to offer Nigeria some succor, but to offer the Black nation succor and the world as well.
Musawa also notes that these networks will help expand the local market dynamics to create growth and provide jobs for the teeming creatives and set up long-term strategies for the creative industry in Nigeria. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde says the company that stored the explosives which led to Tuesday's explosion in Dejo, Oyele Street, Old Bodija, Ibadan, has been identified. The governor, who was speaking at a press conference on the incident, said justice will be served to the culprits. Ayomiku Ajibola has the details.
Preliminary investigations have traced this blast to the storage of explosives by illegal miners at a house.
While calling for calm, Governor Makinde assured residents that the state government is on top of the situation and will leave no stone unturned in the search and rescue of victims under the rubble. The governor vowed that rescue effort will continue until all lives in the vicinity of the blast are accounted for.
Rest assured that all that were involved directly and indirectly in bringing this tragedy upon us will be brought to book.
The state government, according to him, has also made provision with hotels to accommodate victims and those living close to the site of the incidents after proper identification.
Let me use this opportunity to appeal to anyone still staying in any of the houses within 250 meters of Ground Zero to move out to government provided accommodation until we check the structural integrity of the buildings in this area.
Other measures to address the situation include setting up of an emergency operation center for the search and rescue. He appreciated President Bola Tinubu for the collaborative effort of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, who have been on ground as first responder in the rescue exercise. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
Now, in line with Kano State Government's Girl Child Education Initiative, the state has reintroduced the Girl Child Transportation System to ease transportation problems of students and enhance school attendance. Muhammad Ibrahim reports that about 60 buses have been released to schools within the city to achieve this purpose.
Late coming, truancy and other antisocial behavior caused by unreliable intercity transport system are some of the issues of great concern to parents and education stakeholders. The reintroduction of the Girl Child Initiative by Kano State Government is an effort towards addressing the transportation challenges, especially for girl students in the state, as the country battles with the increase in transportation fare since the removal of fuel subsidy. Now, parents and students have cause to be happy as the government provide buses to ease their movement during school opening and closing hours.
Reduce the overpopulation of students waiting for tricycle to go home.
Reduce the rate of coming of students late.
Zara Mansur, the principal, New Girls Science and Technical College, Kano, explained that the initiative has afforded parents and school authorities the opportunity to monitor their children.
The issue of accidents, the issue of students that are not disciplined well, that after school they will not go back to their houses, they will remain somewhere else. I think all these problems will be wiped out.
The Commissioner for Education, Kano State, Umar Haruna Dogwa, says 60 buses have been made available within the city as a step towards encouraging continuity in girl-child education.
We are doing that for 2 or 3 reasons. One, we want to make sure that girls are motivated to go back to school. And secondly, we want them to be safe.
The state government has also introduced free uniform and free books to encourage the children of the less privileged in the state to go to school. In Kano, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
And now we are now joining Muhammad Ibrahim, who is standing by at the Governor's College Guest section with an update on the program, which is also, like we heard in the report there, providing free uniforms and, of course, free books. Hello, Muhammad. What more can you tell us?
Hello, Alajide. Thank you. The Girl Child Initiative was first introduced by the Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso's administration in 2011. It was suspended by the administration of Abdullahi Umar Ganduje. Now it has been reintroduced by the administration of Abba Kabir Yusuf. The introduction of the Girl Child Initiative is part of the Kano State government effort to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal and also to ease the transportation of students to and fro to school and from their homes. And the initiatives also was introduced by the Kano State government to uplift the status of women in the state. And other educational stakeholders believe that the initiative will help reduce the effect of insecurity bedeviling the country. They also believe it will accord school authorities and parents the opportunity to monitor their children from engaging in anti-social behaviors.
Other plans to expand this initiative to other parts of the state?
Yes, during my engagement with the Commissioner for Education in Kano State, the Commissioner reiterates the state government commitment to reintroduce more buses that will help cater for the male counterpart of the students in the state. And also, they will extend the initiative to other local governments across the state.
All right, Mohammed, what about the male counterparts? Is it just limited to the females alone?
That was what I was trying to explain earlier. The Commissioner for Education of the state reiterates the commitment of the government to extend it to the male counterpart by reintroducing more buses that will cater for the male students in the state.
All right, very well. Muhammad, thank you very much for joining us on Nationwide.
Thank you very much.
All right, at this point, we take a break. The news continues shortly. Thank you for staying tuned. Now, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, flagged off the Renewed Hope initiative for the elderly in Rivers State with 100,000 naira grant each for 250 participants. Osinachi Samuel reports that the First Lady was represented by the wife of the Rivers State Governor, Lady Valerie Fubara.
Hope Initiative is a pet project of wife of President Bola Tinubu. The project, which is designed to empower vulnerable groups, give them sense of belonging and bring them closer to government, is focused on 5 key areas: agriculture, education, economic empowerment, health, and social investment. Represented by the wife of the River State Governor, Lady Valerie Fubara, Senator Oluremi commended Governor Fubara for keying into the project.
To our senior citizens, I urge you to embrace life to the fullest. Prioritize your health, nurture your minds, and strengthen your bonds with loved ones and with God. Amen. These are the keys to a rich and fulfilling life in your golden years.
The program featured free medical service and health talk.
I am highly impressed, very impressed. But this is exactly what the elderly people are looking for. The president and his wife too. So I thank them very much.
It is beyond human expression. We return all the glory to the Most High God. Because since my life I've been hearing government has. This is my first time.
250 elderly persons drawn from the 23 local government areas, non-indigenous and faith organizations benefited from the maiden edition of the Renewed Hope initiative in Rivers State for the elderly. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
We'll now be heading to Lagos now. Well, Michael Olaleye is standing by for the next set of reports. Michael, good afternoon. Sincere apologies. We'll get back to Lagos as soon as they are ready. Now, Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, has requested management of the Federal University, Dosima, to establish study centers in Kano. At a meeting with the Vice Chancellor, Hamisu, and other management staff of the institution, Senator Barrow says when established, the centers would boost education in the state. He offers to sponsor 100 students to acquire degree and diploma at the study centers. The Nigerian Labour Congress has called on the international community to lift the ban on ease of doing business with Cuba to foster continental trade and boost cross-fertilization of technology and ideas. NLC President Joe Ajaero made the call while receiving the Friendship Medal by the Cuban ambassador to Nigeria, Miriam Morales Palmero, at the Labour House in Abuja. Olajide Bello reports.
The Cuban labor movement is one of the oldest in Latin America. During its final days as a colony under Spain in the late 1800s, trade unionism and other political ideas found their way to Cuba through a continuous exchange of people and ideas. During the First World War, trade union activity gained momentum and saw establishment in 1924 of the first National Central Labor Organization, the Confederación Nacional Obrera Cubana, and a second central labor body, the Federación del Trabajo de Cuba, in 1927. Many countries, including Nigeria, keyed into Cuban labor union system as a yardstick for implementation for enhanced labor packages for successive governments till date. That is what prompted this gathering of honoring the Nigerian Labour Congress president for being steadfast over the years.
If somebody is told that Cuba has been under economic and even political blockade all these years and they are still forging ahead, and they have made great impact, especially in the areas of science and technology.
They are proof by the government of Cuba or give the medal of the friendship to the Nigerian Labour Congress as the President Yoya.
The Friendship Medal, La Medalla de la Amistad, is conferred by the Council of State of Cuba on foreigners for their solidarity with the Cuban Revolution or who have contributed to peace and the progress of humankind. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Now, President Bola Tinubu has showered encomiums on elder statesman and political ally, Chief Bisi Akande, describing him as an epitome of forgiveness, candor, and reliability. The president stated this during the 85th birthday celebration of former governor of Osun State and first interim national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Correspondent Ayomiku Ajibola reports that 7 state governors as well as other dignitaries graced the occasion.
Speaking at the event to mark Chief Adebisi Akande 85th birthday celebration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by the governor of Lagos State, said the former governor of Osun State is a respected elder statesman in Nigeria who continued to offer rare insights and counsel for effective governance. The president said he has benefited immensely from Chief Akande's knowledge and perspective on various issues.
Highly principled and perceptive, Baba Akande is selfless and intensely patriotic.
One of the strongest beliefs of this great man is that power should be used to benefit the people.
Vice President Kashim Shettima, who was also represented by Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum in a lecture titled The Leadership Question, Prospect for Nigeria, charged all Nigerians to take responsibility of leadership as it is a collective effort to move the nation forward.
Leadership is about trust, listening, delivery of service, and acting genuinely on behalf of the general public. Our approach to the emergence of leaders will be necessary, but by necessity have to change.
The occasion of the 85th birthday celebration of Chief Abdulkarim Adebisi Akande was also used to unveil the Adebisi Akande Foundation in Ibadan. Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
In a similar vein, President Bola Tinubu celebrates his former Chief Press Secretary, Segun Ayobolu, on his 60th birthday. Ayobolu also served the president as special advisor on information and strategy when the president was governor of Lagos State from 1999 to 2007. He was also at different times the political editor of the Daily Times and editor Sunday Times. President Tinubu commends him for his unflinching service to the nation and dedication to progressive ideals over the years. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has affirmed the judgment of the Akwa Ibom National Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal that nullified the election of Emmanuel Ukpong Udo, representing Ikono Ini Federal Constituency under the banner of the Young People's Party, YPP. The 3-man panel of justices led by Justice Abba Mohammed held that the tribunal was right to have ordered a supplementary election in 33 polling units and that INEC's announcement of Ukpong Udo as winner, despite the rerun election having been cancelled, was in violation of the Electoral Act and INEC's own guidelines. The appellate court, in doing so, dismissed Ukpong Udo's appeal and declared Glory Edet of the PDP as the winner of the House of Representatives election for Ikono Ini Federal Constituency. And still on election matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is gearing up for a successful by-election to fill one of the 3 vacant seats in the House of Representatives. Abiodun Oladepo reports that the commission is set for the exercise with the recently concluded stakeholders meeting held in the northern senatorial districts of Ondo State.
The 2-day stakeholders meeting was at the instance of the Independent National Electoral Commission, and it was part of preparation for the by-election into one of the 3 vacant seats at the House of Representatives. INEC team, led by its resident electoral commissioner, showed the readiness of the commission to conduct a seamless election come 3rd of February this year.
Every state here
that the responsibility of safeguarding the integrity of the electoral process in the state rests on all our shoulders, not just INEC, noting that the choices that we make will shape the future of the state and its people.
Mrs. Babalola told those at the meeting that only 145,755 out of 171,491 electorates who have registered with the INEC have collected their PVC so far.
I also want to advise political parties to ensure peaceful conduct of campaigns by shunning all forms of violence. On our part, we are committed to transparency, fairness, impartiality.
Party faithful, uniformed men, and other stakeholders use the opportunity to clear certain gray areas of the election, explaining things in details. Earlier, the team had visited palaces of some royal fathers where they promised their support for the election.
I've been speaking with my people to make sure that we have a free, fair, and peaceful by-election.
When you call your subjects and warn them, they will not misbehave.
Akoko Northwest Federal Constituency is one of the 3 vacant seats at the National Assembly following the appointment of Honorable Bumetuji Ojo as the Minister of Interior recently. From Ikare Akoko in the northern part of Ondo State, Abiodun Oladepo, NTA News.
Cult-related crimes keep popping up with alarming regularity in Edo State. At present, the state capital is confronted with this social scourge almost on a daily basis as one cult group takes up the other, leaving behind a trail of bloody deaths and premature loss. Udwak Obong Achibong spoke with the police public relations officer Edo State on the command's efforts to curb cult-related crimes in the state.
It is often said that no society is crime-free. Crime is socially conditioned, and as long as man lives in society, there will be transgressions. In Edo State, armed robbery, murder, and kidnapping have established themselves as major security challenges. However, while security agencies are making frantic efforts to tackle this challenge and ensure peace and order, cult-related crimes are spiraling to frightening levels. Between December 2023 and the new year, many lives have been lost to cult clashes, a situation linked to youthful exuberance, competition for supremacy, and the struggle for community assets. The Edo State Police Command is aware of this and is rising to the occasion with sizable arrests made so far.
In recent time, we discovered that the killings are more coming from Ogbowo or Luku side. Tactical teams are equally engaged meaningfully to ensure that this fight against cultism is won. And that is why we are working together, collaborating with other sister security agencies.
The police regularly insist that policing is everyone's business. The state government, through its vigilante network and other security models, is appropriately providing support. Citizens on their part are urged to assist by providing useful information, while perpetrators of criminal acts are warned to desist. In Benin, Udwakobong Achibong, NTA News.
I must say it's been very heartbreaking reading and hearing some of these ugly news. And now to throw more light on some of these issues raised in the background report, Udwak Obong Achibong is standing by in Benin. Hello, Udwak. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Yes, welcome to Benin.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes,
go ahead.
The report rests just now. We've had issues here, just like any society. We know crime and criminality do pop up. But here in Edo State, And in the last 1 month, it has been a cult-related crime in the state, particularly in Benin City. And so, just as the security agencies are being saddled with the responsibility to maintain law and order, the police has been on its toes to do work. I spoke with the police public relations officer, Chidi Wabuzo, in Edo State here, and he said a lot has been done by the police force to ensure that they clamp down on these people. Remember that it started in December last year. Like I said, a lot of people had been killed. We lost one of our foremost journalists in the state here in one of the sister TV house, and it was such an alarming thing. We wake up to hearing news of this, and also it was at this point in time that a new commissioner was posted to the state, Funshu Adeboye. And so when I spoke with the PPRO, he said he has a commissioner assuming office. He had to gather everything together, work with the tactical teams to ensure that they go all out for these criminals, these cult groups. And of course, although sadly they lost one of their operatives in the course of fighting this war, but that did not deter them. They have been working so hard to ensure that these people are caught. And he also said through intelligence, they've been able to walk into where they had gathered to plan where to attack next. Like I said in the report, some areas like the Oluku and Ugbowo axis, and we're able to clamp down on them. And right now, as we speak, the state it's calm. The cult-related crime is abating, and everybody's like, thank God that it's not the way it was when it resurfaced last month.
Okay, thank you very much, Uduak. I wanted to ask if any arrests have been made and, of course, prosecution. But thank you very much. We are running out of time. Thank you for joining us. All right, we'll take a break now. The news will continue in a moment. Please stay. The National Executive Committee of Labour Party has resolved to pursue electoral reform to address some of the challenges that played out in the 2023 general election. The NEC meeting also played host to the verification team of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, at the National Secretariat in Abuja. David Ire reports.
The first NEC meeting of the year 2024 is reviewing activities in the outgone year and setting agenda on how to sustain the winning tempo of the party in the new year. The party sees a review of the Electoral Act as key in the quest to have a system where every step is transparent and devoid of technicalities that could encourage manipulation in an election.
Nigeria will not be able to advance politically except we continue to engage the mass of the people, continue to educate the people, because we feel very strongly that political education is key to the emancipation of Nigerians, and therefore Labour Party is going to spearhead political education.
Addressing INEC officials on a verification visit, the chairman presented the party's scorecard in the 2023 general election and other details as requested by the electoral body.
Nigerians, before now, we are yearning for a third force political party in Nigeria, and I'm sure that Labour Party played that role effectively, and today Labour Party can be said to be the third force in Nigeria.
The party calendar and guidelines for the 2024 Edo governorship election was adopted by the meeting with a pledge to take over the state through the ballot. In Abuja, David Ire, NTA News.
We'll now be returning to Benin, where Anguli is there to give us more reports today. Anguli, it's over to you.
State government has signed a tripartite agreement with Fuzo Yangshin State technological advancement. Jude Abugu reports that the hub will also be an avenue for more cultural exchange in Nigeria and China.
Commitment to improving technical skills in the state.
It's the first agreement we are signing with a private sector partner, Yangshin Steel. So, which indicates that we're just not sending children or youths to come and receive education in China, but we're preparing them for work with the support of companies, Chinese companies that are already invested in Nigeria.
I believe that under the support of Edo State government and other parties here, the education and talent development of Edo State will have a very bright future.
The signing of the agreement followed a visit by Governor Obaseki to Fuzhou Polytechnic in China in November 2023. The delegation was also hosted to a state banquet at the Government House, Benin City. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the state government is set to introduce electric power commercial buses in the state. It has also concluded plans to generate additional 175 megawatts via wind. Goodluck Anaini has details.
The introduction of the electric-powered commercial buses is aimed at boosting key social infrastructures across the state, especially in power generation through wind energy. More industry players are already taking advantage of the decentralization of the power sector to invest in clean energy.
The issue of electricity in the country must be decentralized. We are in a hurry to get every community, every hamlet of Edo State to have access to electricity, especially clean energy.
And as the people of the state see that it is actually indeed doable, workable, to run electric vehicles in the state, and it works, the energy to charge is available.
Commissioner for Mining and Energy in Naholo Ojefo says with this additional 175 megawatts, a charging station is to be installed at the Benin Central Park ahead of the commencement of operations of electric buses in February.
As a state, we have our master plan, working with the federal government to make sure we commercialize this structure. So for us, we have gone ahead of that state, even 10 years ahead of that state, in this commercialization, and also decarbonization of the process. That's why we have renewable energy programs ongoing now, so that we can use it to do a backup project for us.
Edo State government will contribute 10% to the realization of the project. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
That's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Bilikisu in Jos.
Thank you, Anguli, and we apologize. Bilkus is not ready for us now. We return to Abuja, and as part of activities to assist victims of the 2022 flood, the federal government, through the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has commenced the second phase of intervention in Cross River State. Oba Hyacinth reports that the relief materials are for victims who were not attended to in the first phase, flagged off by the State Deputy Governor, Peter Ude, in September 2023.
Intervention, which is the second phase for the 2022 flood victims, include food and non-food items given to the beneficiaries in the affected LGL in the state. The South-South Zonal Coordinator and Supervisor of the program in the state, Babatunde Adebeyi, reads out the items for the victims.
Input with the rice seedlings for the farming, the dry season farming of rice. Okay, the pumping machine is part of the items put together as a basket, which includes the pesticides, which includes the fertilizers, and also the herbicides, for the farming.
I am here to collect the relief material sent by the federal government. I have received grinding machine for my people. I have received yam seedlings for my people.
I received a grinding machine, one pumping machine with insecticide and rice seedlings. Thank you. At least if I put a good handwork on what I have received, I think I will be able to recover a little of what we've lost.
The relief material is from the Special National Economic Livelihood Emergency Intervention, SNELI, for 2022 victims who were ravaged by flood in some states across the country to cushion the effects of the disaster and reposition them for economic activities. In Calabar, Oba Hyacinth, NTA News.
And the director tells me that Bill Kisu is ready now to join us from Jos. Bill Kisu, it's over to you.
Plateau State government is to partner relevant authorities to rebuild the health sector. Governor Caleb Mutfwang stated this in Jos while receiving officials of the World Health Organization. Grace Akwegotip reports.
Caleb Mutfwang pleased with the activities of the World Health Organization in the states for several decades, especially in the areas of health and humanitarian response, says he will personally commit his administration to partner relevant authorities to rebuild the health sector.
Pleased to give you my personal commitment and the commitment of the government of Plateau State that will partner together to make sure that we don't pray for emergencies, but when they do happen, we have to find a way to address them. And in addressing them, we hope we can learn from such experiences and build capacities. What we'll be looking forward to WHO, helping us in any way they can.
Emergency Preparedness Response Cluster Lead Nigeria, Dr. Ni Okamura, intimated the governor that World Health Organization is mandated as representative of the United Nations to bring relief materials to victims of the recent attack in Plateau State.
We are here to collaborate with you and your team on the best response possible. So WHO, as you know, is the only agency, UN agency, that has physical presence in the state. And for this reason, the UN country team requested WHO to represent the team and collaborate with the government for the comprehensive UN response.
In Jos, Grace Akwegoti, NTA News.
The National Population Commission says it is determined to provide accurate information that will enhance policy formulation and development of the country. The Commission gave this indication in Jos ahead of the 2023-2024 Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey. Indiang and Abuja has details.
It could be recalled that the National Demographic and Health Survey was launched in December 2023 with the aim of advancing field knowledge and policy formulation in the health sector of Nigeria. Plateau State Director of the National Population Commission says this survey has been instrumental in providing valuable insights for evidence-based policies, enhance public health interventions, and contributes to the broader development agenda of the country.
Objectives of the 2023 to 2024 NDHS is to collect high-quality data on fertility levels, awareness and use of family planning methods, maternal and child health, childhood mortality, childhood immunization, breastfeeding and young child feeding practices.
In Plateau State, the survey will be conducted in 39 selected clusters across the 17 local government areas by a team of 13 surveyors, after which each of the selected clusters will present their results.
We assure our citizens that the data collected will be true reflection of demographic and health status.
Findings from the survey, she says, will provide insight on the status of demographic and health indicators across the state, upon which plans and policies will be designed to address demographic, health, and social challenges in the country. In Jos, Indenyan and Abuja, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Jos. Nationwide continues in Abuja with Ugo Chukwuka after this break.
Thank you, Bill Kisu. And back in Abuja, traders in Karimo markets are counting losses after a midnight fire outbreak, which razed more than 150 shops. Our Gimbar, who visited the scene of the incident, reports that the cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained.
Questions and answers are what followed the fire disaster at the popular Karimo Market in the Abuja Municipal Area Council, which has become an annual occurrence. The Harmattan seems to be a season of fire incidents, and this perhaps is the reason for precautions on fire safety. The fire that gutted the Karimo Market left the traders with little or nothing to salvage. The last fire incident in March 2022 led to sensitization of traders.
Do consultation, we did all the things they asked us to do, believing that everything is settled.
I've experienced 3 good time fire burning, and they affected my shop for that 3 times.
As I came, fire is almost at finishing the 2 line.
A similar incident occurred in Gwarimpa at about 3 a.m. the same Wednesday, where an upper floor of a popular supermarket was touched by fire. Quick response by the FCT fire service men, however, curbed the escalation to other parts of the building. Efforts to speak with the management of the supermarket proved abortive.
By the time we got there, the market, about 12 shops were well alight. What we could do at that instance is to stop the spread of fire.
Hawagimba, NTA News.
And now sports. Super Eagles set to take on host Cote d'Ivoire in their second Group A AFCON match later this evening. Let's join Suleiman Musa for more on sports updates.
We begin with football, as the Super Eagles is set to take on the Elephant of Cote d'Ivoire in their second Group A encounter Thursday at the Olympic Stadium Epimpe at 6 p.m. Nigeria time. The 3-time African champions, the Super Eagles, will be looking to consolidate their position in the group with a win against the host nation. Host Cote d'Ivoire top Group A with 3 points after beating Guinea-Bissau 2-0 in their first match, while Nigeria sits third at the group standings with a point after drawing their first group match with Equatorial Guinea last Sunday. And to wrestling, Comptroller General of Customs Bashir Adewale Adeniyi has promised to continue support towards the development of wrestling in Nigeria. He made the promise when he received a delegation of Nigerian Wrestling Federation led by its president Daniel Igali in Abuja. The CG, who is also a board member of the federation, expressed optimism that wrestling will deliver medals for Nigeria at the African Games in Ghana and the Paris Olympics.
In every tournament that we have featured, once wrestling is there, we always come back with a medal. This will not be an exception.
We hope to qualify at least 6 athletes going to the Olympics, so that hopefully between June and August, when we go back to the Olympics, we will deliver again.
And finally, to tennis. Top seed Iga Swiatek avoided an early Australian Open exit by overturning a double break deficit in the deciding set to beat Danielle Collins. Swiatek trailed 4-1 but showed fight and composure as Collins wilted to win 6-4, 3-6, 6-4. In the second round, 22-year-old Swiatek has emerged as the WTA Tour's dominant player in the past 2 years, leading the world rankings for the most of the time and adding 3 more majors to her tally. With Sports Update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
And that's Nationwide today. We appreciate you for finding time to watch. Good evening.